Hey, you know what? I'm glad we met again. Next time, you're gonna join my band, got that? It's a promise. Don't forget.
Jinyang, remember me, no matter what.
I love you.
I won't forget. Not my sin, not you, not anyone. We'll meet again. And
together we'll save Maya.
So, I won't say goodbye. Only, thank you.
Hey folks. Today I want to talk to you about Persona. But not just any Persona. No, this game goes all the way back to the year 2000. A little game by the name of Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. It's apparently a direct sequel to another Persona 2, but that game didn't get released in North America until 2011 on the PSP. And honestly, who uses a PSP? But that's not important. No, today we'll be exclusively talking about Eternal Punishment. A game that for once feels slightly more geared towards adults than to teenagers, as shown by your party being entirely adults, with one exception, and generally just dealing with more grown-up problems, such as shitty bosses, societal pressures, and, organized crime. So without further ado, let's just dive right in. We open on a woman named Maya Amino, our protagonist, arriving at her office. She's the reporter and editor of Small Teen Magazine, and suffers from the ever-crippling protagonist disorder, meaning she can only communicate through dialogue boxes. Upon her arrival, her coworkers point out that she's received a letter. She reads it to find a strange message. "You're next," signed by Joker. You don't have much time to ponder on what it means, though, as your boss quickly calls Maya into her office. Your boss claims that Maya's previous story was a piece of crap, and that if she doesn't want to get fired, her next story better be damn good. She orders that you head to a local high school where a strange rumor has supposedly been circulating. Normally, your friend and photographer Yukino would go with you, but since your last story was such a piece of crap, she's splitting you up. On your way out, you run into your roommate, Ulala Serizawa, who you had plans to go out partying with after you're done work. Ulala is annoyed by this, but opts to join you, claiming that the two of you working together can cut the project down to half the time. And so you have your first party member. She's a bit simple-minded at times and has a knack for dating the wrong man. But she has a particularly fiery temper when she gets upset, and genuinely wants to help people when she is capable of doing so. The two of you arrive at Sevens High School, where you find two police officers interviewing a teacher. They're questioning her about one of the students and how she may be involved in a recent murder. One of the officers quickly leaves after questioning the teacher, but the other one is approached by the teacher. His name is Katsuya Suo, and apparently his younger brother, who's one of the teacher's students, has gone missing, a boy named Tatsuya. Katsuya claims he too is unsure of his brother's location, and promptly exits the room himself. With him gone, you're free to talk to the teacher. She claims that a man who had recently injured a student in a car accident was killed, and in a rather gruesome way. She's worried it may be tied to the rumor going around the school, the rumor of the Joker. By verting around and talking to a bunch of the students, you find out what the rumor actually is. If you dial your own number, a voice will answer. If you talk to it, you can make a request and ask that someone be killed. The Joker will answer this and kill whoever you request. Eventually, as you're talking to students, you make your way to the courtyard. Here, you find the principal taunting one of the students, a girl named Anna. It seems she was the one that was injured by the teacher who was recently murdered, and the principal claims that she killed this teacher to get revenge. Her younger sister, a girl named Noriko, sticks up for her, claiming that her big sis would never kill anyone. The principal laughs and walks off, giving Maya and Ulala a chance to talk to the girls. Anna, seeing that you're a reporter, claims that you can write whatever story you want, she doesn't care, before storming off. But, as she's walking off, she makes one last claim. I'm going to kill him. You and Ulala decide that you better go to the principal's office and give him a piece of your mind. But upon arrival, you find the principal's corpse in a bloody mess, sliced and gouged horribly, and possibly even chewed in places. You don't have long to think, though, because who should burst through the door but your third-party member, Katsuya. He's a by-the-book cop, dammit! Sorry. But yeah, that pretty much sums him up, your typical good cop. A stickler for the rules and a bit of a wet blanket, but ultimately cool-headed and smart. After examining the body, Anna arrives at the scene. She looks just as shocked as you are at the body, claiming that she didn't do it. But she also turns tail and quickly runs. Your party gives chase, but are stopped by a demon. And from behind you walks out a terrifying, bag-headed, machete-wielding man. The rumored Joker. He greets your party, claiming he was hired to kill Maya. He also claims that he knows a lot about Maya, and what she did on the other side. Your group is at a loss, but the Joker simply summons another demon to attack your party. He throws Maya a pair of guns and cackles madly, saying that she had best call her persona if she wants to survive. And as your group is pushed back into a corner, an ancient voice calls to each one of your party members, and you awaken to the power of persona. You manage to drive off the demon, but are left pretty defenseless. The Joker once again cackles, claiming that he's not going to kill you now. He'll let the demons do that for him. With a powerful attack, he renders your entire party unconscious. Several strange and oddly familiar images flash before your eyes as your party is transported to an ethereal realm. You awaken to be greeted by a god of sorts, Philemon. He gives your group an explanation of what the power of persona is, but something seems off. He seems constantly out of breath, and he can't seem to quite finish any of his sentences. He ends by explaining that rumors are coming true, and claiming that you have to seek the light before sending you back to Earth. Upon waking up, Katsuya calls the police, claiming that the suspect and another murder victim are at the school. After that, your group all agree that what they saw was reality, as they all had the same dream, and are still able to call their persona. Katsuya asks that you stick with him to stay safe, while you go to look for Anna, going so far as to even let you keep the guns that Joker gave you. This eventually leads to the school clock tower, where you find Joker talking to Anna, again mentioning this other side. Your group tries to provoke him, but he brushes you off and summons some more demons to fight you. It's a drawn-out fight, but you drive them off. Afterwards, Joker commends you before putting your group into a deep sleep with the power of his persona. But just as you're fading out of consciousness, you hear a sound. Sounds like someone is attacking Joker. Maya is the first to awaken and finds that Anna has been saved and is lying unconscious beside her. She also finds him. A strange boy that Maya ran into a few days ago. She doesn't know why, but she can't seem to get him out of her mind. The boy tosses you an emblem from a Sevens high school uniform. He tells you to go to a detective agency, and spread a rumor that you'll be safe from a Joker as long as you're wearing that emblem. He also asks that you forget everything you just saw, and just go back to leading a normal life, before leaving. Afterwards, we see a scene where Katsuya reports everything that happened to his superiors. They seemingly don't believe anything that happened and tell Katsuya that he deserves a vacation. But he decides that he's going to work on the case on his own, and requests that you help him. So, you decide your first stop might as well be that detective agency, and see if you can spread a rumor to make it so that the Joker can't hurt Maya. Once there, you spread the rumor, and you don't really have any way of knowing if it actually works immediately. So, one of the members of the agency suggests that you meet a man that they know on an online chat. A man who runs a website that collects all the rumors in town. You head to an internet cafe where you meet your fourth party member, Baofu, a mysterious man who keeps his personal life and his past in the dark. The man is blunt to the point of being rude, but has a sarcastic edge that makes him hard to hate. He also seemingly already has complete control over the power of persona. He brings you to a bar where he asks your group to explain how you met with the Joker and managed to survive. You tell him everything you know, and he's intrigued. So, you in turn ask him for what information he knows. He explains that the Joker rumor started a while back when a TV show mentioned it. But before that TV show, no one knew jack shit about the Joker. Except for one person. The phone records of one Tatsuzo Sudo.
Who?
Apparently, he's the current foreign minister. Baofu then offers your group a deal, claiming that you should work together. By digging up dirt on Tatsuzo, you'll also dig up dirt on the Joker. Your group is skeptical, but eventually decide that it's best to work together with him. But there's just one problem. You see, that rumor you spread about the emblem protecting you from the Joker has come true. But if you're going to be hunting the Joker, you'd probably rather run into him. So, using a lighter from Baofu, she burns the emblem, freeing her to discover the truth about the Joker, and about the boy who saved her. In any case, Baofu knows where the son of Tatsuzo is being held, so you opt to head there first to search for clues. You arrive at a sanitarium where you find two bodies. Baofu claims that they're members of the Taiwanese mafia. He claims that they work for Tatsuzo, but why exactly they're here, he has no idea. You climb through the demon-ridden sanitarium until you arrive at the son's room. Upon arrival, you find that the room is a mess. Strange engravings and drawings are scattered throughout the walls, and the pictures of all the victims killed by the Joker are plastered on the one wall. One particular scrawling catches Maya's attention. A strange little poem called The Oracle of Maya. For some reason, she feels a sharp pain in her side. But she brushes it off, and your group continues. Eventually, you arrive at the head office of the sanitarium, where you find the son of Tatsuzo Sudo, Tatsuya Sudo, who is the Joker that has been killing all the people. Several more mafia corpses, as well as some staff corpses, litter the floor around him. Tatsuya is clearly deranged, claiming that the voices led him to this power, and continuing to talk about the other side. As you probe him for questions, he suddenly gets a phone call. Baofu looks out the window to see who's calling. He notices a foreign-looking man in the courtyard, and immediately rushes out the door in a rage upon seeing him, leaving your group and Tatsuya alone together. Tatsuya is once again upset that Maya can't seem to recall what he wants her to recall. He sends another demon after you before disappearing, claiming he's going to an aerospace museum. It doesn't put up too much of a fight though, and you quickly rush outside to find Baofu standing there. You question him on what he was thinking and who that was, but he remains silent. Deciding it's not worth it to question him anymore, you decide to head for the Aerospace Museum. Once there, you find a bunch of elementary school students on a field trip. You also run into a high school student, who was present that day you ran into Deja Vu Boy, named Jun. You talk to him for a bit, but as you're talking, flames suddenly erupt from the side of the museum. Tatsuya Sudo's voice rings out, claiming that he's placed bombs throughout the museum. The only course of escape, if you want to save all the school children, is to gather them all together and head for the roof. You manage to gather a few bunches together when you come across a large open room with a big display in the middle. You keep climbing, and eventually you manage to find all the kids and make it to the roof. And who should be waiting but, Deja Vu Boy? Yes, it turns out that he is Tatsuya, Katsuya's brother. And he's facing down, Tatsuzo's son, who's taken Jun as a hostage. Sudo, still gibberingly insane, asks if Maya finally remembers what happened. However, Tatsuya says she shouldn't try to remember anything. Suddenly, a hole opens up beneath your party's feet. Most of you manage to jump out of the way, but Tatsuya is barely clinging on with one hand. Maya tries to pull him up, but Pseudo uses this as an opportunity to advance on her. He raises his machete above his head, and gets shoved down the hole by Jun. You all take this opportunity to catch your breath, but the building is still crumbling around you. Fortunately, Tatsuya has a plan. A blimp, apparently given functionality by a rumor. Surprisingly, he's able to fly the thing rather well, but there's another problem. It turns out Pseudo boarded the blimp while they were loading all the children on board. Your group and Tatsuya rush out to face Pseudo while Jun pilots the blimp. It seems the fire left Pseudo's face hideously burned. This seems to have only exasperated his madness as he attacks your party. It's a tough fought fight, but fortunately Tatsuya is OP as shit. So, Pseudo falls. But he makes one final threat. The fear of the Joker has been planted, and it will live on. There's no time to celebrate your victory, however, as the blimp seems to be crashing into the sea below. Tatsuya, seeing this, immediately rips open the doors. Katsuya goes to question him on what the heck is going on, but he's immediately pushed outside the blimp. Tatsuya orders that everyone else follow suit. At the end of the line, Jun gives Tatsuya a parting gift. Maya too stops to talk with Tatsuya. He gives her one last piece of advice, that it's not too late to turn away, that she could forget all of this, before pushing her out as well. Everyone manages to wash ashore the same beach. Everyone but Tatsuya, that is. You're worried, but with the strength he has, he probably is fine. But everything's good, right? The Joker was defeated after all. Well, your party is pretty divided on how to proceed from here. Katsuya, being the good cop he is, wants to report everything to the police. Baofu is not happy with that and just wants to dig up more dirt on Tatsuzo. Ulala, being a civilian, just wants to be done with this whole mess. She encourages Maya to do the same. Maya still has questions. So your group split up for a time. Maya heads back to her office to see if she can get any intel. There, she meets her boss, talking with a woman named Chizuru Ishigami, also known as Wanglong Chizuru. She's the face of a strange fortune-telling trend that's been circling the city. It's based around 12 dragons, one for each month, and Chinese mythology. It's a sort of horoscope. After talking with Maya briefly, she leaves the office, and Maya meets up with her co-workers. They show an old video about Chizuru, talking about Wanglong fortune-telling. Apparently, the Joker is part of Wanglong fortune-telling. Humans, possessed by bad intentions, such as jealousy or anger, are filled with a force known as kagare, which basically means impurity. When these emotions overwhelm a person, they become a Joker, meaning people who are filled with such emotions, people who use the Joker curse, are becoming Jokers. Meanwhile, we see Baofu is tapping Tatsuzo's phone line, but unfortunately not a lot of info can be gleaned from it. Next, we see Katsuya reporting everything to his superiors. They claim that his report is ridiculous, and to make matters worse, it seems that Joker murders are still popping up all over town. Katsuya tries to convince them that Tatsuzo is the one that they should be hunting, but to no avail. He's relieved of active duty and told if he continues to interfere, he'll be fired. Finally, we see Ulala at a gym, letting her frustrations out on a punching bag. She seems conflicted on what she should do when she hears news about the Joker rumor. We return to Mai, who gets one last piece of news. The news claims that a gas explosion destroyed the sanitarium, killing everyone inside. Knowing that Tatsuzo is covering his tracks, she moves to meet up with Baofu. The two of you in turn decide to meet up with Katsuya, whereupon you all trade stories on what you learned. You all decide to continue working together to hunt down Tatsuzo. When suddenly, Maya gets a call. It's from Ulala, who seems to be becoming a Joker as well, meaning she used the curse. But who could bring out such strong emotions in her? Your group turns to Maya, being her best friend, and asks her for anything she could think of. But Maya can't remember. There was one asshole who conned her out of a lot of money. Your group track him down to a bar and corner him. At first he refuses being the guy you claim he is, but with a bit of clever wordplay, Baofu and Katsuya manage to trick him. So you head to the gym, asshole in tow. Upon arrival, you find Ulala hunched over in a corner. You claim that you caught the creep who conned her and that she can calm down. He'll face the justice he deserves. But something's not right. Ulala turns, revealing a terrifying eyeless face. She is a full-blown Joker. But she wasn't after some asshole who conned her out of money. No. The one that she put a hit on was Maya. She attacked your party, and it's a tough fight, but you managed to subdue her. After the fight, with the Joker suppressed, Ulala apologizes to Maya. She had always been jealous of her. No matter what Ulala did, no matter what she tried, she could never find a life that she was happy with. And yet Maya always seemed to find it so easily. In a drunken rage one day, she had put the Joker curse on Maya. But Maya, ever the sweetheart, forgives her, and your party gives that asshole a little bit of what he deserves. However, the Joker is still inside of Ulala, and it doesn't seem like conventional doctors can get rid of it. So, you go to a place that deals with Persona instead. The Velvet Room, where Igor purges the Joker from her, though not completely. Ulala makes one final apology to Maya for everything she did, and the two agree to work together. But this touching moment is cut short when Maya gets a phone call. It's from Anna, of all people. She claims that her sister turned into a Joker, but not only that, she and several other Jokers have been kidnapped by a group and are being held in a club. Katsuya points out that this means that the murders at Seven's High were done by Noriko, but why an organization would capture Jokers is beyond them. So your group is back together once again, and you head for the club. Here you find that the Taiwanese mafia has taken residence. After making your way through to their main hideout, you find that foreign-looking man that Baofu chased after at the sanitarium, and was in the police office when Katsuya was making his report. Baofu addresses him as Young Pao, an assassin. He doesn't explain a lot about what their plan is, but he does say that he is working with both the police and the government. You demand that he hand over all the Jokers he's captured, to which he obliges, claiming that the only one they have left is Noriko. She walks out, possessing the same eyeless face Ulala had. It seems that they've managed to use some sort of drug capable of suppressing the Joker's power. But, upon seeing Maya, the person who is targeted by the Joker, she attacks your party. The fight is a pain in the ass, but you eventually manage to beat her. It seems that young Pao and his goons managed to escape while you were busy fighting. Katsuya questions Baofu on his connections to the Mafia and to the police, but Baofu tells him to just keep his nose out of his business. Ulala shuts both of them up, claiming that Noriko needs their attention and that they need to bring her to the Velvet Room. Once there, Igor purges the Joker from her, and Anna thanks you for saving her sister. Even Katsuya is moved to take it easy on her for using the Joker curse, although Baofu claims this just because it'll be difficult to prosecute her. But the moment is cut short when once again you get a call, this time for Katsuya. It's from a mysterious voice that calls itself Sneak. It claims to have information pertinent to what your team is looking into. It sounds suspicious, but your group agrees that it's probably best to see what it's all about. You head to a park, where you meet with a man in a trench coat who sits down and proceeds to spill the beans.
Beans.
He claims that many things, the government, the police, even the media, are all under the control of Tatsuzo's group, a group known as the New World Order. At the moment, your group is small enough that Tatsuzo's group is not taking an active interest in you. You have the ability to infiltrate his network and gain the evidence needed to put the New World Order to justice. Finally, he tells you that you're not alone in what you're doing. There are others trying to put a stop to Tatsuzo. He disappears, leaving behind a pair of photographs of a man and a woman. Your group decide that it probably would be best to meet up with the people in the photographs. But, since you don't know their names, you decide that the best course of action would be to spread a rumor about them appearing in a bar. Unfortunately, since you don't know their names, you can only spread the rumor that someone important to the case will appear at the bar. This means that the media, who are constantly looking for scoops like this, also appear in droves at the bar. So your group comes up with a plan. Ulala and Baofu enter the bar with a plan to act as a distraction when the person arrives. Meanwhile, Katsuya and Maya wait outside, planning to stop the woman before she enters the bar. We also get a couple nice scenes of character interaction. But eventually the person does arrive. Katsuya and Maya stop her from entering, but the media notice. So, Ulala and Baofu, create a distraction.
Get out of here!
You're one crazy bitch!
I don't want to see you or your dirty balls in my
After all is said and done, you meet up at an expensive-looking apartment. Here you meet a girl named Ellen Kirishima and a boy named Nate Nanjo. They share what information they've gathered about the New World Order. It seems they're using the media and Wanglong fortune-telling to spread the Joker rumor. As to why they're doing this, that's tough to say. And so you decide to work together with the two, gaining your last party member, Ellen. She's a bit of an oddball with a love for the supernatural, but is genuinely kind and thoughtful. You head off to a TV station where Wanglong Chizuru is set to appear on a live broadcast. Meanwhile, Nate heads off to a laboratory to see if he can find where the captured Jokers are being taken. Upon arrival, you meet with one of Ellen's friends, and your co-worker Yukino. They claim that Chizuru is indeed inside the building, and that it seems extremely likely that the rapid increase of Wanglong fortune-telling has been purposefully caused by the media. You also see a weird cat that's probably Chizuru's pet. Huh. You head into the studio and head straight for Chizuru's dressing room, but no one's there, except for the cat that you saw earlier. Suddenly, a strange sensation comes over you, and the world goes gray. Ellen, a fan of the occult, explains that you're in a sort of trap. You have to go through different doors in a certain order in order to escape. It's a long trek. Along the way, you of course find out that Chizuru is the one who set up this trap, and she was masquerading as her cat the entire time. You also deal with some, unsettling issues from Ellen's past. But eventually you go through every door and escape the trap. As you come back into reality, Wanglong Chizuru's show has already started. She's shown talking in front of a famous celebrity in an up-and-coming diva group. By the time you make it to where they're recording, the actress has been turned into a Joker, and is attacking the idols. But fortunately, once again, Tatsuya is here to save the day. Tatsuya faces the Joker alone while your group deals with Chizuru. She summons 4 specters and attacks your party, but it turns out she was a fake, created by some sort of illusion. But the specters still put up a tough fight. After you finish them off, you find that the actress has been defeated, and Tatsuya has disappeared. One of the idols, a girl named Lisa, says she was told to bring the lady to the Velvet Room. She also asks that you please try and help Tatsuya. You head back to Nate's apartment, where you find several people that worked for him sadly dead, presumably killed by the New World Order. In any case, the apartment is unsafe, so you head to a different hideout, Baofu's lair. Your group uses this time to recount everything you know. It seems the town is in a panic after watching Chizuru's broadcast, and the rumor is spreading faster than a wildfire. The area Nate was investigating seemed to be doing experiments on the Jokers that they were capturing. They seem to have a machine that's capable of separating the Joker from the people who are afflicted with the curse. By doing so, they seem to be collecting the Kegare that causes the curse. Why exactly they're collecting this is beyond them, though, but their modus operandi seems clear. Wanglong creates Jokers, the Mafia captures them, and the machine separates them. What follows is a series of locations where you essentially deal with the lackeys of the New World Order. First, you go to a mall where you meet a guy named Ginji, who's the producer for that idol group you met. He seems to be using one of the machines to collect Kegare from the general public. He's also adopted a new slogan.
You done fucked up now!
With him out of the way, you get a phone call to head to a concert hall to meet with the mysterious Sneak. When you meet him, you find that he's the chief of police. Despite having worked for the New World Order, he wants to atone for what he's done, and gives you some info on them. They apparently worship a mummified samurai named Gozen. They claim that they can hear voices coming from the mummy. Their ultimate goal is to destroy the world and create a utopia. How they plan to do this is, okay, just follow me here. They will spread as much Kegare as they possibly can until it blankets the world. Then they will summon the 12 ancient dragons of Wanglong lore, which were actually ley lines deep beneath the earth, who will go out and hunt down everything covered in Kegare. This will ultimately cause the rotation of the axis, which will result in the destruction of the world. But the New World Order will survive by hiding out on a spaceship that's rumored to be underneath the city. He also explains a bit about Katsuya's father, who died in an incident related to the New World Order, and how he was an upstanding man who died with his beliefs intact, and Katsuya was well on his way to following in his footsteps. But as they're talking, Katsuya's old captain appears. He puts a bullet in the chief before turning on your party. He puts up a bit of a fight, but you quickly deal with him. Your next lead brings you to an old factory where the Taiwanese mafia are hiding out. You arrive just in time to watch a bunch of them get gunned down by the military in a large machine. It looks like Tetsuzo has decided to betray his mafia contact and is killing them to silence them. You make your way through the factory and eventually come across a fleeing young Pao. Baofu disarms him and gets ready to finish him off, but Katsuya stops him. It seems he's been doing a little digging into Baofu's past. Baofu is formerly a prosecutor for the city. One day, while he was investigating some sort of fraudulent money scheme in Taiwan, he was attacked by Young Pao's Taiwanese mafia, under the orders of Tetsuzo. While Baofu escaped with his life, the person he was working with was sadly killed. Essentially, Baofu had just been using your party to get his revenge against Young Pao and Tetsuzo. But you don't have a lot of time to process this information, as the large machine that the army was using attacks your group. It's a pretty easy fight, but it seems that in the frenzy, a stray bullet managed to hit Young Pao. In his dying moments, he tells your group where the New World Order is stationed, on a boat. Your group doesn't push Baofu too much more on his past, but it seems Katsuya has built a bit of a respect for him. But there's no time to waste. You head to the docks, where Nate has a boat ready for you to chase after the New World Order headquarters. You head out into the sea and manage to find the ship, already under siege by Tatsuya, who's causing a heck of a ruckus. You make your way through the belly of the ship up to the deck, where you find Tetsuzo about to escape on a helicopter. Tatsuya almost manages to stop him, but he's stopped by a line of machines. Together with your party, you manage to bring them all down, but Tetsuzo escapes. Still, you finally have a chance to once again talk with old Deja Vu Boy. He's upset that you're still following him and asks that you leave and let him deal with this alone. Of course, you don't, and you follow him to the belly of the ship where you find a small submarine. It seems that some members of the New World Order have headed down to some ruins beneath the sea to awaken one of the dragons. Tatsuya finds a small submersible and chases after them. Your group jump on the sub and follow suit. The ruins are a dark maze, but you eventually find the ones awakening the dragon. Turns out it's Chizuru, and a man named Guido, who exudes a pretty terrifying aura. Unfortunately, they've already awakened the dragon, the final one they needed for their plan. Chizuru attacks your party while Tatsuya deals with Guido. It's a surprisingly easy fight, but once you're done, the ruins begin to crumble around you. Your group makes their escape, leaving Chizuru and Guido to their watery fate. After a dramatic escape, you finally have a chance to stop and demand Tatsuya explain what's going on. Who he is, what he plans to do, and why Maya remembers him. He asks that you come to a mountainside shrine where he can explain what he knows. And so you arrive at a familiar-looking shrine. Tatsuya talks about another side, another world, but doesn't really explain much. He asks that you follow him to the mountain behind the shrine. It's a long, twisting, and eerie path. It's filled with caves full of weird pools of water that... Of course. Innocent sin. How could I forget such an important memory? And yet, I still can't help but feel like I'm forgetting something. Something painful. Two sides exist, an old and a new, one of sin, one of punishment. One created by casting off the memories of the old. The memories of innocent sin come flooding back into Maya's consciousness. Tatsuya turns to your group. He explains what this world is and why it was created. He also explains that if the original 5, he, Maya, Ekichi, Lisa, and Jun, were to regain their memories of the other world, the instability would be so great it would destroy this reality. He asks Maya, now that she knows the situation, to please just leave it alone and let him deal with it. Sadly, now is not the time to catch up, as the New World Order is on their way to the underground spaceship Torifune. Eriko says her goodbyes to your party, planning on joining up with her friends to help around the city. In her place, Tatsuya joins your party, your final party member. As you probably know by now, he's a good kid, a real hero, though with a bit of a tendency to keep things to himself. So you make your way underground to chase after Tetsuzo. Along the way, you have one of the more heavy scenes that this game has to offer. In any case, you arrive at Torifune. Since Tatsuya and you remember the rules of this place, it should be pretty easy to make it through, right? No, it seems Tatsuya is having trouble keeping his thoughts in check, as upon entering the place you find a furnace-like trap. You escape and make your way through the dungeon. The first room you find is a bunch of bodies from Tetsuzo's army. It proves that the crawling chaos has no regard for the New World Order, and that they probably have no idea of its existence. Later, you find a room where you're able to rest for a little bit. Maya and Tatsuya decide to sit together, but find it difficult to say what's on their mind, when who should appear but the old gang. Like in the first game, golden visions of your past appear before you, this time brought on by Tatsuya's heavy conscience. They spirit Tatsuya away and your group chases after them. You manage to catch up and find them surrounding Tatsuya, echoing his worst fears, that he betrayed his friend's promise. However, he's conscious enough to know that it's all fake. Your group arrives and you take on the golden Ekichi, Lisa, and Jun. Oh boy, and how I know my innocent sin was so easy. It's a doozy of a fight, but you eventually manage to beat them. But with that done, there's nothing standing in your way between you and the Torifune control room. However, when you enter, you find it mostly empty, save for a few dead military men. The cause of this soon becomes apparent, as a hideous monstrosity walks towards you. It seems to be a former member of the New World Order, corrupted by chaos. At the same time, a panel activates. Sumeru's city is raised into the sky. You don't have time to worry about it though, as that monster is attacking you. It's a long but straightforward fight, and you eventually win by kicking the thing down a pit. Your group is worried. It looks like Tetsuzo is about to complete his master plan. But he's not done yet. He still needs to summon the dragons to destroy the Earth. So your group head to a castle where the ritual is in progress, hopefully before it's too late. You quickly make your way through the castle until you find Tetsuzo. You find him standing between the dead bodies of the rest of the New World Order, clutching a bloody sword in his hand. You approach him, but it's too late. Using the mass of Kegure he accumulated, he awakens the ancient dragons to purge the world of sin. Tetsuzo revels in his victory, but it's cut short. After all, despite all this, he was simply just another pawn. The power of chaos surges forth, and he too transforms into a hideous Lovecraftian monstrosity. He attacks your party, but is remarkably easy. However, you're not done yet. The mummified remains of Gozen also come to life, and they too attack your party. It's a rough fight, but you've dealt with worse. You emerge victorious and find This place feels familiar, and has that same foreboding chill that you could never forget. It's the realm of crawling chaos, the realm of Nyarlathotep. The being himself appears before you, this time in the guise of Tatsuya. He adopts the form of each of your party members in succession. He claims that he's simply the shadow of humanity, that all he does is part of their wish. He offers to play a game with you, and 3 figures appear floating above his head, the unconscious bodies of Jun, Ekichi, and Lisa. He offers them back to you, provided you can suppress your own shadows. However, should you fail, their memories will return, and this reality will be erased. And so you enter the final dungeon, a place for Nyarlathotep to play with your minds. He begins by showing memories of your party's past. First is Katsuya. We see a younger version of him, still in high school. He apparently had a dream growing up, a dream to become a patissier. However, with his father's death and his brother relying on him, he became a cop instead. His shadow appears, claiming that Katsuya blames Tatsuya and his father for his life, that if it wasn't for them, he could live life the way he wanted. He even claims that Katsuya has feelings for Maya, and that the only reason he doesn't act on them is because of his brother. Katsuya points his gun at Tatsuya. He claims that what the shadow said is partially true, but mostly wrong. He whips around and fires a shot at it. Afterwards, he turns to Tatsuya and claims that, no matter what, he doesn't regret his life. He's still his big brother, and he'll always be there for him. It's a touching scene that brings everyone a little closer together. Apart from the fans, who now have a new argument about who to ship Maya with. In any event, the next room deals with Ulala's past. Here we see a scene where Ulala is chatting with Maya about her poor love life. She questions why it's so tough for her, and is jealous of how Maya makes it look so easy. Once again, a shadow appears and taunts Ulala. It claims she hates herself, and only hangs out with Maya to hide her inferiority complex. It goes so far as to even claim that Maya has managed to pick up on this as well. Lala says that while she may have been that way, she now understands. You can't go out and find who you are. You have to make who you are. Once again, the shadow disappears without a fight. You keep going until you come across an empty room, where you find Ekichi suspended in the air. Beneath him, the shadows of Katsuya and Ulala appear, this time ready to fight. But they don't put up much resistance, and you manage to save Ekichi. Fortunately, it seems that his memories haven't returned, and to make matters even better, you get a surprising hand. It's Philemon, who transports Ekichi away to a safe location. You continue onward. The next room provides another vision, but this time not of the past. It shows a persona, Baofu's persona, or at least one similar, strangling a woman, the one Baofu was unable to save from the Taiwanese mafia. It eggs him on. Baofu claims that all along, the one he couldn't forgive wasn't Tatsuzo or young Pao, it was himself. He was powerless to stop them and blames himself for Miki's death. Amazingly, a spirit of sorts appears before him. Miki asks him not to blame himself, that she always liked the straightforward man who always believed he was right. Afterwards, Baofu is uncharacteristically somber, but your party, feeling they understand him finally, all manage to cheer him up. In the next room, you find Nyarlathotep himself, still adopting the form of Tatsuya. He talks directly to Maya, asking what she's so angry about. He tells you to despise him, to finish him. The boy that you love will never be yours, for he's already a toy, property of Nyarlathotep. Nyarlathotep shrugs and disappears, leaving you to continue on your way. The next room finds Lisa in a similar state to Ekichi. She too is guarded by a pair of shadows, this time Maya's and Baofu's. Again, they don't put up much of a fight. Once again, Philemon appears to spirit her away. And so you enter the final room, the same pillar you stood on what feels so long ago. Jun is here, suspended over Nyarlathotep himself. He commends you and offers his final gift. The reason.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad we met again. Next time, you're gonna join my band, got that? It's a promise. Don't forget.
Chinyang, remember me, no matter what.
I love you.
I won't forget. Not my sin, not you, not anyone. We'll meet again. And
Together we'll save Maya.
so, I won't say goodbye. Only, thank you.
I don't want to forget what happened. How can I forget? Guys, don't go. Don't leave me alone. Please, no. Please, no. No!
The reason why you're all here. The reason the world is being thrown into chaos. The reason for everything is Tatsuya. If he had simply given up his memories and accepted his fate like all his friends did, then this may have been avoided. While he was traveling between this world and the previous one, he rejected the offer to give up his memories, putting this world in grave peril. Hence why only Tatsuya remembered the other world, and why he hadn't fully become one with the Tatsuya of this side. Nyarlathotep takes this moment to openly mock Tatsuya. But your group stand up for him. They tell Tatsuya that the fate Nyarlathotep claims to be absolute is a sham. So, you stand together as one, and face the monster himself, the shadow of humanity.
Crawling chaos. This is where you meet your end.
The hideous monster that is Nyarlathotep attacks your party. Wave after wave of attack crash into you, but your resolve is strong, and together, nothing can stand in your way. You drive him into a corner, but you're not finished yet. A new form arises, Nyarlathotep's true form. His attacks grow in power, and your party is pushed to their absolute limit. And so, finally, Nyarlathotep is truly defeated. Philemon appears before your group with Jun in his arms. He tells Nyarlathotep to accept his defeat. The strength of man's heart has managed to defeat its own shadow. Nyarlathotep makes one final taunt, claiming that no matter what, as long as humanity exists, he will exist. However, your group shrug him off. There will always be darkness in the heart of men, but it will always remain locked behind the resolve of man, and you banish him back to the hellhole he crawled out of. And so, all seems well. However, there's still one thing that needs to be addressed. Tatsuya's very existence in this world causes instability. He plans to leave this world and return to his own. Tatsuya says his final goodbyes to your group, then disappears, leaving behind the Tatsuya of this world. Maya returns to work, where her positivity seems to be slightly infectious. Lala and Baofu open a business together to find missing persons. For once, they seem happy with their life. Tatsuya and Tatsuya have a talk on a beach. Tatsuya talks about maybe following in his brother's footsteps. Even the Persona 1 cast seemed to get a happy ending. Jun, Ekichi, and Lisa gather at a familiar-looking shrine. For a reason they can't explain, they feel empty inside.